I think you gain friendships and memories that you would not be able to get anywhere else.
My name is Winter, and I'm a violinist studying here as a 4-year senior now, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, my name is Grayson Geisness. I am a senior here, and I play the viola, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, my name is Michael Figge. I play double bass. I'm a senior at Interlochen Arts Academy. My pronouns are he, him.
For me, I came from a town that didn't have a very big classical music surrounding area, and so coming here was kind of, it felt to me like the way to grow. And I knew that I would grow here, but I didn't realize how much I would grow here. Somehow coming to Interlaken pushed me farther than I even knew I could go, which is it's really cool to think about. And I met people that I didn't realize at the time, but now I realize I'm probably going to be lucky enough to play with for like the rest of my life. You know, in some aspect or another, I'm going to run into these people, and it's so beautiful to see, like, and be surrounded by people that you're like that do the same thing as you, rather than being the only person in your town that plays your instrument. And I think you get so many great experiences that you wouldn't be able to get in your local town. I mean, depending on where you're from. I was from a town that didn't have a lot of classical music, so we didn't play masterworks like we do here. Like, I was lucky enough to play Scheherazade last year, and that was something that if I was still at home, I would have never played, and I probably wouldn't have played until at least college.
When I did my applications, I had, well, my parents and helped me a lot with the materials and stuff, but I had no idea what it would be like to study here or at another place. I just didn't have an idea about anything here, but I just decided that this would be probably a good option. I was in Camp Online in 2020. I inverted my whole schedule to become nocturnal so I could attend the Camp Online in Beijing. But so that didn't really give me an idea of what it's like being here, but I just thought, sure, I should apply here, and so I did early decision, and I'm here, and I don't regret this place.
For me, it was to just submit your application. I was so scared to submit my application with all the supplementals and, like, well, not all of them, but the supplementals in the video essay. It was scary, but it's so important just to submit your application. And especially with everything, like, don't get scared by all the stuff that people are telling you, oh, it's going to be too hard, it's going to be stuff like that. Just apply. And I feel like everything else kind of works out.
Like, it's always good to just apply. Or like have a meeting with an admissions counselor, talk to people about it. Don't just, go off what you hear from a third party or something. Yeah. If you're interested, get into it.
I was unsure when I first heard about it. I actually I laughed because the professor that I was studying with over the summer told me, you should, apply to Interlaken because I think that'd be a good place for you. And I was like, I can never go to boarding school. And then I didn't just let it be a passing thought. I looked into it and I pursued that, and it changed my life. So just don't let it be a passing thought.
I think it's very important to make a good group of friends that are thoughtful and that you can travel far with.
Now, I personally, it's kind of going off of what Winter said, but just come in here with a growth mindset. When I came here, I was used to my back home, and I would just, goof off, have some fun, and practice, a little bit. And it was a joke between like me and my friends, like, oh, I didn't practice at all today or something. And I got here and I realized that wasn't a funny joke. And I realized that what was actually like interesting and fun to talk about was how much you did practice, how efficient was your practice, how is your practice going, rather than this mindset that wasn't really intended on growth.
You got to surround yourself with the right people. And also, there's an extra amount of importance on professionalism, in the sense that, like, some of these people will be your colleagues, and a lot of these faculty and teachers are, like, college level, if not higher, professors. Like, they're a professor level, they're not high school level. So there's a certain amount of professionalism that you need, especially inside the music classrooms and all that.
This goes back to when I first applied, and when I was first told about Interlochen, is I laughed because, first off, I could never imagine myself going to a boarding school, but I could also never imagine my parents being able to pay for me to go to a boarding school. I told my mom, and she also laughed. And she's like, there's no way that, that's going to be able to be feasible just because of the cost. And so that's where the Just Apply comes in, because I just applied because I really wanted to. And I was told from my friends, because I had friends who went there, and they told me they give good financial aid, and I didn't believe it. I didn't trust it. And I received my offer, and it was an acceptable offer, and I kept working with the admissions officers and stuff, and talking to them about my situation and what I needed to be able to go here, and they were very thoughtful and very able to work with me, and I received a very generous financial offer to go here because of how great the admission counselors are.
I had a sponsor from my church that sent me here. So I think they're pretty, I love how they have a merit scholarship option, because not really many high schools have that. And that took a chunk off my tuition, which was great.
Before we were going to New York, as there was a small group of students performing in New York City. Before that, we had a donor invited us over to give a small performance, and they're very nice people. So, a lot of these are Interlochen alums, so they already love this place, and so they are willing to give their support, I'm pretty sure.
That is one of the great things about coming here, is you enter a network of such supportive people, and that are willing to help you, and know how much of a struggle it can be sometimes to be an artist. And it's really great to have these people who understand, and you have something to connect with them about, of both loving this place. It's really cool.